Hello, my name is Shiva and I'm a student at Dian Nusantara University. Today I'm going to explain about semantic, especially in the field of relations between propositions. Before we jump to the topic, let's find out what semantic is. There is a term called linguistics. It's a scientific study of language, while the language itself is a system of arbitrary vocal symbols used for human communications. Every language has different form of linguistics, but certain we know there are three kinds of system in studying linguistics. There are phonology, study of sound, morphology, study of the language structure or words, last but not least, semantic, the study of meaning. So, what is semantic? Semantic is a branch of linguistics that studies the meanings that contained in language, codes, or other types of representations. In other words, semantic is the study of meaning. According to the expert by Charles, semantic is an attempt to explicate the knowledge of any speaker of a language, which allows the speaker to communicate facts, feeling, intention, and products of the imaginations to others. This time will be explained about one of the semantic features called relations between propositions. First of all, what is propositions? It affirms or denies the subjects. It expressed by what grammatics can call declarative sentence. It must be distinguished from a question, exclamation, wish, command, and entreaty. Let's see the examples. A dog is not a cat. A dog is a mammal. A dog has four legs. The second example, Jakarta is the capital city of Indonesia. Jakarta is Indonesia's capital. Indonesia's capital city is Jakarta. What can you conclude from these two examples? Yeah, they are all connected, but keep the original messages from one to three different sentences. This proposition has other relations. These lists are supposed to be the subjects that will be further discussed. The first one we call it as relational propositions to express relations, of course. The second one will be presuppositions or to assume, and then entailments to relate between the sentences, and opposition to disagree but sometimes have different tags or the same context. Relational propositions. A relational term is a term which shows the relationship between two entities. So, a relational proposition is a proposition that arises as an implicator between two propositions or groups of propositions. In short, it is a logical relations and produces coherence in the text. For example, I'm starving. Let's go to the Gokana. Gokana is a Japanese restaurant. So there is a relational in this sequence that expresses a solution, and that means our going to the Gokana is a partial solution to my problem of being starving. Let's try another example. Rina's sister is sick. She needs to go to the hospital. What is the relation between Rina's sister going to the hospital? Well, Rina's sister going to the hospital is a solution to her sickness, which becomes a problem for her. So if she wants to get well, she needs to go to the hospital. A solution. Okay, there is another term of these relations. We can call it as presuppositions or assumptions. A presupposition or assumption is something that the speaker assumes to be the case prior to making an utterance. Speaker, not sentences, have presuppositions. For example, Nina has three brothers who own three cats. What kind of presuppositions that this utterance has? Well, somehow you need to know the difference between sentence and utterance. Sentence refers to what is stated in the sentence. Meanwhile, utterance refers to what is uttered by the speaker and also considered by when, where, or how it's uttered. Utterances are physical events, and sentence is neither a physical event nor a physical object. Well, okay, back again to the question. Nina has three brothers who own three cats. So, this utterance has the following presuppositions. A person called Nina exists, and that she has three brothers. Nina has three brothers, and that they are cat lovers. Well, let's try another example. What presuppositions that this utterance has? Rachel has 6 siblings. I'll give you 5 seconds to answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, Rachel has a very big family. Okay, the formula is P presupposes Q. If we say the sentence 1A contains the proposition P and the sentence in 1B contains the proposition Q, then using the symbol, as you can see on the slide, it's like a symbol of more than symbol. There are two more than symbol. And we read this as presupposes. That means to assume it. I'll take an example below. I'll give 1A, Sifa's cat is adorable, as B, and 1B, Shifa has a cat. So B presupposes Q. Shifa's cat is adorable presupposes Shifa has a cat. If the speaker denies the propositions P, and we call it as not P, the formula is not P, the presupposition Q doesn't change. Like, for example, Shifa's cat is not adorable, and we write it as not B, and B, Shifa has a cat is Q. So not B presupposes Q. Presupposition triggers some expressions or constructions which can act as the sources of presuppositions. It's like a guessing game from the context. Entailment. An entailment is something that logically follows from what is asserted in the utterance. Sentences, not speaker, have entailments. The entailments are communicated without being said. Remember, don't get it wrong. Speakers related to presuppositions, assumptions, and entailments related to sentences. It's like paraphrasing a restatement of the meaning of a text or passage using other words. Yeah, similar to that, but with a deeper detail. Okay, let's see the examples. A. He has cats and dogs. B. He has pets. The analysis is like this. A entails B. Cats and dogs are part of the pets, and whenever A is true, B is true. Pets, cats, and dogs are part of the animals. A and not B is not contradictory. So the most important part is that the information that B contains is contained in the information that A conveys. Let's try another example of entailment. Okay, Andy has 4 best childhood friends. What entailments that the sentence has? Remember, not utterance but sentence, because entailments focuses on sentences, not the speakers. We can say Andy has 4 best companions. This is as true as the previous sentence, and this sentence contains the information that the previous sentence conveys, right? And this second sentence entails they are Andy's friends from his childhood. Even though the number is not mentioned, but it's not contradictory to the first and second sentences. Presupposition contrasts with entailments. So let's try to jump to the explanations by getting the examples first. Presuppositions. 1A, the king of France is bald. 1B, there is a king of France. 1C, the king of France is not bald. If X presupposes Y, the negative counterpart of X also presupposes Y. So 1a, the king of France is bald, presupposes 1b, there is a king of France, and so does 1c, the king of France is not bald. What about the entailment? Okay, 2a, the president of Slovenia is bachelor. 2b, the president of Slovenia is unmarried. 2c, the president of Slovenia is not a bachelor. If X entails Y, the negative counterpart of X does not entail Y. So it's like this. 2a, the president of Slovenia is bachelor entails 2b, the president of Slovenia is unmarried, but not 2c. But 2c does not entail the first or the second one. Once again, entailment is not contradictory. So 2c, the president of Slovenia is not a bachelor, is false and against the first and the second sentence. Opposition. It has three kinds of oppositions. The first one is the contradictories. It means one is denial or negations of the others. Both cannot be true, but both cannot be false. And the second one is contraries. The term of contraries is there are two propositions having some subject and some predicate term but differ in quality and same in quantity. Both cannot be true, but both can be false. And there are contraries but also subcontraries. When two propositions having some subject term and same predicate term and differ in quality but same in quantity, both cannot be false but both can be true. These are the examples of oppositions. The first one is contradictories. My mom is still cooking. My mom is no longer cooking. It might be true, but it might be not. Maybe my mom is still cooking and my mom is no longer cooking. One is denial or negations of the others. So it's contradictory. And the second one, all women love shopping. No women love shopping. Are you sure that all women love shopping, or are you pretty sure that no women love shopping? You have no idea, so both cannot be true, but both can be false. It's contrary, differ in quality and same in quantity. The last one is subcontrary. Some magics are real, some magics are not. How do you know that some magics are real? And how do you know some magics are not? Maybe you have some evidences, to give or to prove the magics are real or not. So both cannot be false, but both can be true as well. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope we are learning something from the topic today. Thank you very much.